Good morning, guys. It's Big Rich here with Ohio Fish Rescue, and today we've got big problems. Okay, so what has happened is, well, first off, I'm letting you see the angel tank, and you see all the different angels we have in here now, and all the live plants. Sorry about the reflection. But anyways, we've had the air conditioning go out on us. Now, I can pretty much fix anything, except for I'm not a certified AC guy, and what had happened is the A-frame that's above the furnace, it's inside of a metal box. Well, it's leaking, and it blew a seal or something, or rusted or something. The furnace is only 2 years old. But anyways, out from where every pipe goes into that top cap that goes on the furnace, there's ice coming out of there. So I know that the Freon is leaking out of it, and it's sealed up. It's completely sealed up. I can't push no air through. I had to turn the furnace blower off. So now there's no air conditioning in this house, and it's been this way since yesterday. But yesterday we were okay, because what we did was we left the door open, and then I put this fan on. It's a air mover, blower fan, blowing into the living room there. Well, Tracy's on that side of the living room, so it's getting fresh, cooler air from, outside. That was okay yesterday. We had cool packs by her, wrapped in towels and stuff. But today it's getting hotter, and I can't let Tracy go. So what I started doing was this. I am building her. Now, here's a piece of PVC. I got to cut it off here. But if you can look here, I am building her own fort right here. And you can see her legs right there. So I'm covering her bed with, actually, these things here are for when we go to shows. It holds the background up. So this does one side really well. And then on the end, I've got a sheet hung up here. Now this side here, and I don't want to get Tracy in there. This side here, let me move over just a little bit, has a pole over there. That's what I'm going to connect with the PVC pipe so that I can drape it on this side. Now, once I get this all draped in, I have a spot in here where I can put a camera, so I don't have to keep going in there. But in here, there's a table that goes over the bed. So it's over her feet. I can put the camera right there. Let me close this side back up. There we go. So I've got to finish putting curtain on this side, across the end, and seal this up. Then what I'm going to do, once I get that built, I am going to go ahead and make like a homemade air conditioner. I'm going to take a box fan, and I'm going to have it blowing into her area. And I'm going to put all kinds of ice on the outside to cool her off some until, the AC guy's coming today, but they're just going to look at it, and then they'll, give me an estimate and blah, 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 and then be back to fix it. So in the meantime, we can't have Tracy overheating like this. So we're going to go ahead and use our kid thinking and build her a fort, and then blow cold air in there for her to keep at least her cool. Forget about us. She don't have the availability of coming outside and sitting in the shade where it's cooler and you got a breeze. And the house actually heats up the air more, because, let me see, in here, when you have a roof like this, there's room above it and stuff. But when you have a roof like this, that's actually the roofing. See how it goes up at an angle there? About 8 inches or 10 inches on the other side of this is the metal roofing, and the sun's baking it. So if you get on a ladder and you step up here, that is burning up hot like an attic up there. So turning on the ceiling fan does not help, because now you're mixing the cool air with the hot air. So we leave the hot air up there, and I'm going to have Tracy having cool air blown in around her. So it's the best I can do in this situation until we get the AC fixed. I don't know why it broke. It's less than 2 years old. But the cost is going to be tremendous too. So I know I got to replace the A-frame, which means taking the whole box off the top of the furnace and replacing that. I know the kit to build that yourself is $100, And then the A-frame is probably $300-400, and then their time and effort to put it in, so it's going to be close to probably $700 to $1,000 to fix this. And I have to do it right away, get it done, So that's what today's video is. I'll show you me building it and putting it together and how I build it. Okay, now first thing we're going to do, take this Sawzall and cut on this line. Cut this pipe a little shorter so that will be the part the curtain hangs over. I'm working by myself, so I can't really video, cut, and hold the pipe all at the same time. So hang on one second. Okay, that's cut. Made a big old noise. It's early morning, so I'm trying to be quiet for the neighbors. Now let me put this back away. Take the battery off of it. Hang this thing up. Back up on top of here. I can't even get my hand up there. All right, here we go. Oh, I'm knocking down everything. Light goes back up to the magnet. There we go. All right, so now we need the drill. So we're going to bring this out. And we need a drill bit. Now, the poles, I think, got 3/8 or 7/16 bolts on them. So this is too small. Hang on a second. Let me find the drill bit. Okay, I drilled a hole here. Moved it over. And drilled a hole on this side, too. So let's go ahead and put this back away. There we go. Sorry, the garage is such a mess. My time isn't. I used to spend all my time outside working on things, doing things, and getting things accomplished. But now with watching Tracy, now it's not a hard job to watch Tracy. It's really not. It's, I don't know, time consuming, and then it makes you sit. Like you gotta, sit there and watch her. And when the alarm goes off, get up and do something about the alarm. Is it her heart rate? Is it her, pulse ox, her oxygen getting too low? It's just that. And then you sit back down. So it's kind of slowed me down, and it's not, of course, it's not Tracy's fault. I'm just saying the way life has changed has now slowed me down to where I'm used to sitting around now, and I don't like that at all. But I gotta get things done now because it's like 9 o'clock now. It's going to get hot today, so I got to get this done before, let's say, 10 or 11ish. And I still got to wake Skylar up, which I don't want to do. No one ever wants to wake Skylar up. She is just so mean. And she gets woke up, so I don't do it. But anyways, I have to run up to the store, or if I had someone else here that could drive, they could run up to the store and buy me 5 bags of ice or something, and that way I can make the ice machine and all that stuff to where the wind goes through the ice and then gets blown into Tracy's little fort area. So there's lots of things I got to do, and I got to get it done early. So, and I'm watching Tracy while doing all this. That's why between filming, I've got the camera on her, and I can see her and hear her alarms. So when I film, it's real short little bits right now because there's actually no one watching Tracy. So I'm heading back in right now. I mean, I was right out that door. I just came in, the door shut right behind me, right next to that car. It's where I was cutting this. And then here's the fan blowing in. So, I mean, Tracy's right there. I could hear her if the alarms went off. We've got her listening to music right now. What is this? I can't have that on the video, I'm sorry. Okay, so now I got the pipe up, and you can see the hole. Actually, I put the sheet over the bolt sticking up, and I put the hole over that, so I don't need a clamp here. Our problem earlier was finding enough clamps. So now we've got 2 sides up and done, and then I've got to do the back side, but this pipe is up and ready for this side. Now, what I'm going to do is put 2 queen-size sheets on here. That way, I can open it in the middle and go in, and then get to Tracy where she's down here. Here's her feeding bag. I can work on her right here. All of her equipment's right here. This is her suction machine. This is her mist. This makes the mist that gets pumped into her trach so that she ain't drying out her lungs and that kind of stuff. This is all her medicines and that kind of stuff. And we use the cheap Listerine to put into this bottle so that it never smells, because this suctions out all of her saliva and spit and everything else that gets into her lungs and cleans out her lungs, and that gets really bad smelling sometimes. So we learned to get some cheap Listerine and put it in there first, and then you suction and fill the bottle up, and you're good. We've got a calendar here that keeps us of our when she goes number 2 and when doctor's appointments and all that kind of stuff. This is the distilled water. This is for this, because that goes into her lungs. This here is tap water that we add to her food. Now, I only put out her 3 feedings a day so that, you know, people can keep track of it. So I've already used one this morning. That'll be lunch and that'll be dinner. And then the tap water gets mixed with it into its meal, and then her medicines go into that too. So, and then this is just in case medicines over here. And this is all our stuff to, you know, we do her skin every day. We give her bed baths, and then we give her showers, and then we paint her toenails, so our fingernails and toenails, so we got them separators. We got all kinds of things here for just in case. This here is the machine that we have to give her if she's having problems. It puts medication into her lungs and opens her lungs up for us and helps out. So let me get back to building this. Poor Tracy. Here, let me feel you. Make sure you're, see if you feel her, and you know she's hot or cold, you can put the blanket on or off. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and set the camera up inside of here, because right now the camera's over here, and now that I got this sheet up, from the camera's point of view, you can't really see Tracy, but on my phone I can still hear that machine going off right there. So let me move this camera inside, and then I'll start working on covering the sides, and then we'll only have the end to cover up and to build the let's call it the homemade, you know, air conditioner. Okay, now here's the camera. It's in here. I can move this table up and down. It's right over her feet, and right here is the bottom of her feet. So this is her underside. It's over her feet. It's not in her way at all. The only problem is, let me scan up so I don't show Tracy, but this machine right here needs to be into the camera's view, and with the curtain, or it's going to go right across here, I need to mount that machine on the inside, probably to this pole right here. And see how the condensation builds up in this piping? That's the steam that we're pumping into her. It's not really steam because it's not hot, but you see it's a fog. It's not hot at all. It's room temperature, but it builds up, and you have to clean these pipes out and stuff like that. At the bottom of the pipes, get this back on here, it's hard one-handed. At the bottom of this pipe, we have a collection bag right there. Now that fills up with water, and you have to empty that. Come on, fall back down. Okay, this goes up on top. There we go. Okay, so, you know, we've got systems involved here that I've got to work around. And, you know, we do have the doctor light here. We call it the doctor light because super bright. But when the doc's here and he's wanting to examine Tracy, or like maybe a wound or something, because sometimes she digs into her side with her fingernails, and she'll get a scratch, a wound, and you know, it's got to make sure that it don't get infected and that kind of stuff. So when it gets bad, that's when the doctors come out and they check things and make sure everything's okay. Like when she had pneumonia, the doctors came out and they actually brought a machine with them and did a x-ray of her lungs and found out she had double pneumonia. And we narrowed that down to the only way she caught it is because no one here was sick. The only way she caught it was aspirating. So when if the patient's sitting in a bed, it has to be at least 30 degrees angled. Because when you lay her down, she can be down for a couple minutes at a time, like when you change her and stuff. But if you leave her lay down, then she can, every time she coughs or something, the stomach fluids can come up through her pipe and actually go into her lungs. That's called aspirating. And that's, you get pneumonia from that too. Or if, you know, the patient, I'm saying this for everybody, not just my Tracy, if they slide down in the bed and they're sitting there like this, all curled up, they're not on the part of the bed that's up. The same thing can happen. So that's how she ended up getting sick a couple weeks ago. But we're doing the best we can to keep her from ever getting sick and doing things like that. Hey, here you guys go. You don't get to see my son Richie very often. There he is here. There's Josh and Richie. There's me and Joshy. And there's Tracy. Look how tiny she was. And there's little Joshy. Oh, you remember Pittsburgh? He's on here too. And this is Joshy's picture from Christmas with the baby. And then this here is little Richie. Well, I think I got those backwards. That's little Joshy, and this is little Richie. Yeah. And of course, that's me when I was skinnier. All right, so let me get back to work here. Okay, now you can see I got the camera in here, and then I got 1, 2, 3 sides built. I've got this side ready for the curtains, but I've got to build the air conditioning unit now. But I was thinking, I have a small little, 6,000 BTU window air conditioner for like the spare bedrooms. I could put that right on here. I'd have to prop up that side, like from the bed frame up to this table, because it's a little heavy. Cut a hole in the sheet and have the backside sticking out here. And then that way it would cool off inside of here very, very easily. Set the temperature to say 72, 73 to where she's comfortable. And then it would vent out back here into this area. And this is all, all the stuff that, you guys have sent in, all for Tracy, and all the letters you've sent, all this stuff. Such an amazing show of support. But anyways, then that area would be air conditioned and it would vent out into this room. Well, 2 problems with that. With the condensation, I'm going to have some sort of tub underneath here to catch any water that drips from the air conditioner. And then this room would have to be really vented well. But remember, I stand right here and I'm getting blown back. My hair's getting blown back. That thing is blowing out a tremendous amount of air coming through. And let me show you how this works. We have the vent in the pool room is on. Here, I can close this up now. There we go. The vent in the pool room is on. So if I stand here, I got the screen door on. If I open this, if I stand here, that vent in the pool room is sucking through. I keep that door closed. Usually that's always open. But if that's closed, now it's sucking through the house. And I'm feeling a huge, huge breeze right here. It's blowing my hair back. So the AC would vent to the air, but it would get sucked right out. So all that hot air that's in there would just be hot from the outside of that right through here to the screen and out. So it's possible I can do the AC unit instead of building one. And the only way I can make it any better, this air here, is to block off this doorway to where no air goes in that way, and all the air has to come in the front door, through here, around Tracy's area, and then out that screen door right there on that side. Sorry, my house is such a mess, but and this is the nurses area and their coffee and all that stuff, so that's always got to be there. I can't clean that up. And then Tracy's stuff here, and this is mail and stuff that comes in. This is an airlift help support for the van. I need to get that installed on there. These are my 2 Opas, which work great. I love them things. And then the rest of this is spices. I need to, because the house came with a little spice rack, but man, it is so packed full of spices. I have no room for any of that stuff. So, and then this goes downstairs to Skylar's beta room. It's actually her sink. Well, actually, here's her sink. This is the sink and all the parts, for it. It goes on top of this setting right here. It's upside down. This is the part that sits on the floor. The sink part's up there, and there's the box for the sink. So we've got to get that installed. But right now, other things, prove to be more important, like getting the air conditioning fixed. And until we get the air conditioning fixed, of course, we've got to get Tracy. And tell me that's not a hazard. So we got to get Tracy taken care of. And make sure, oh, I hear you, honey. I hear you. Cough it up. Cough it up. There you go, baby. Good job, good job. Okay, so let me get back to work on this. And usually Tracy can watch a TV. She won't have no TV today, but we can have it on radio. And I can't have it on right now because I'm doing the video, but I can put her favorite music on. I've got a whole playlist for her, and it'll come through the TV here, and she'll be able to hear it. Just listen to music today. Okay, so here's what we've done so far. I cut a hole in the end, and I mounted a little fan in there. I cut the hole out to where the fan can fit through, but these side arms can't. And then I wired it in right there around the base. This is secure. This moves the whole tub, everything. It's in there. Then I drilled out a bunch of holes on this side. Now, I don't have the original lid for this, so I made one out of what we all use for lids for the fish tanks. This was actually from a fish tank. See where it was cut out for a filter? I had to tape that up. So now we got a lid for it. I've got to wash it yet, but we're ready to add ice and plug it in. And the way I'm going to do the ice, if you can look, it's blowing in here. So what I want to do is put like a block here and a block here, and then put ice over top, 2 bags here. So it comes in, has nowhere to go but down below under the ice. Then I'll put the next bag on the floor and on top of it, so it has no place to go but up and then over. And then, well, maybe that'll be it. I don't know. I'd like to make 3 passageways where it goes up, over, and then up and out. So I'm going to have to stack it in there. And Josh showed up with my granddaughter. Hi, Laura. Say hi, everybody. Oh, that's so cute. And Josh is here. Are you still going out on the boat?
Yes.
Okay, I was supposed to go out on the boat with them, so Skylar called her brother, invited them, so now it was me, Skylar, and Brock going out on the boat, and then Joshy and my other son, Richie, was going on the other boat with Brittany and my granddaughter. It was going to be a good family day. My nurse called off this morning at 8 o'clock.
2 hobbies you should never mix: fish keeping and boats. Guaranteed to make you go broke.
Right. So I'm about ready for this, and it's going on what, about 10:30 now, so it's starting to get warm. I've got the enclosure done for Tracy over there. That's her enclosure right here, because she's in that room there. And I've got the air conditioning done. I've got to wash that lid, and then Josh is going to go up and get me some bags of ice. 2, 4, let's go with 6, Josh, and we'll see how long they last. Okay, so I got the unit inside. I cut out the hole in the sheet a little bit bigger so I could tape it to the box. And you know, on this side it hooks this. We're good. It's nice and tight to it. So this is tape right here. So all this is sucking air in and blowing it into Tracy. She is encapsulated now, except for this hole right here. Had to leave an air vent type thing. So this is where the air is coming out at, and I feel the cool air right here. So it's probably, I don't know, 90 out here in this room. So now, no matter how hot it gets out here, she'll be cooler than we are. And it's an enclosed unit now. Now, one last thing to do. I can see inside there, the camera's in there. Let me see right here. The camera's in here right there. And then there's the ice. We fill it with ice. And then, but I don't see this on the camera. So now I got to take this and mount it inside there so I can see it on the camera. And then I'll be done. Okay, guys, I scratched everything that I did today. It got too hot and it wouldn't stay cool inside there, so I hooked up an air conditioner, a little window air conditioner, and made garbage can or garbage bag, you know, things that will go over here, and set it for 73, and it has kept her nice and cool the whole day. It is nighttime outside now, you can see out there, and it has worked. So we finally got Tracy cooled off, and you know, it seems to be holding until, you know, we get the AC back up and running. So it's been a rough day, and I had to change my building in many different ways, but it is over with. So thank you for watching with us and hanging out with us, and stay fishing, my friends.